The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head, premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the BankPlus Studio.
Is now warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Good morning. It's game day. It is game day for your Atlanta Braves. Good morning. Welcome in the Out of Bounds Show. Want to lay a little money on the World Series? You can stop by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. Braves Astros tonight. Here we go. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for making us your sports and entertainment show of choice in the great state of Mississippi. Oh, man, we're built on SEC football, driven by the y'all lifestyle. We got a good show lined up for you today. We interviewed a two-time National League MVP yesterday, and Dale Murphy. I think things are going pretty well so far this week. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, WRKS. Streaming live for you on the Out of Bounds radio app. You can hit us up on the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line, 601-707-3750. Twitter handle, @BoBounds, brought to you by the Spray and Bed Liners and Lift Kits. Tires and wheels at Rick's Pro Truck, ricksprotruck.com. And the text line is already awake. It never sleeps, ever. 24/7, just like a casino, according to Haley Barber. The text line is 601-885-3776. Brought to you by agup.com and Mississippi Ag. John Deere Tractor, America's Tractor. Manage your land with a John Deere tractor from agup.com. 2 locations here locally, Canton and Pearl. I've got Blake Mania with me. We're not sure that he answered the bell on a Max Effort Monday. We may discuss that a little bit later. We've got Mike Detillier coming up at 8:30, straight out of WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D at 8:30. That'll be fun. And the Saints with a win last night in what was an ugly game on Monday night. I'm sorry. Yeah, Monday Night Football. Almost got my days mixed up there for a second. Monday Night Football. And then we have the Atlanta Braves and Houston Astros tonight. So you got Dale Murphy against Roy Oswalt. I mean, that's the way I see this. And I know there's some Astros fans out there, but heavy Braves market. And Austin Riley from Mississippi, he's playing great baseball and taking over there at third base. Hey, I think a legendary player played third base for the Braves. Do you remember that guy?
Fan of the show, Chipper Jones.
Fan of the show. Whenever you ask him about shows in the Southeastern Conference footprint, Chipper Jones, who's been on this show, Hall of Famer,
that's right,
he always starts with the Out of Bounds Show.
That's pretty wild when you think about it, that he's been on the show. He doesn't do media. He's very hermited,
yes,
so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to
Matt Duff,
the Duffster, Major League Bow Hunter.
Duff Mania.
Should we give away I think we have a Major League Bow Hunter hat. Should we give one away in honor of the Braves starting the World Series today?
Yeah, let's sweeten the pot.
Okay.
Let's do a $25 gift certificate to Burgers and Blues, too.
I love it.
And a Major League Bow Hunter hat that, like you said, is run by Chipper Jones and Matt Duff. Matt Duff from the Delta Plate at Ole Miss.
Best text in the first hour?
Let's go ahead and timestamp that thing.
Done.
Okay.
We got till 8 o'clock. We'll give one away. I love it. It's World Series time.
Yeah.
How about that? Another team playing for a baseball championship down here in the South. Ain't that what it's all about?
All right, let me throw out the text line again. $25 Burgers and Blues and Barbecue. Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue. Sorry, I said Burgers and Blues for years,
Yeah,
so it's going to take me a little while here. Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue now serving breakfast on Main Street in Madison. We'll do a $25 gift certificate there and a Major League Bow Hunter hat from Matt Duff / Chipper Jones. They do the show. You know, they go out and hunt everywhere in Kansas and New Mexico and other places, Colorado or whatever.
They're sweet hats, too.
Yeah.
They're cool.
I hope they're still back there.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah. We got about 4 or 5 of them.
All right. We could always call up Duff and get another one.
You want me to text Chipper, get him on the show?
Okay. Chipper, we would like for you to handicap the World Series. And he would be like, the only thing I can handicap is this bow that I'm getting ready.
There you go.
To use to hunt the next couple of months. We're live in the BankPlus Studio. Want to welcome you in, say good morning. Hope you're doing well. The show is brought to you by MississippiSportsMedicine.com for any orthopedic hiccup. So last night's game was whatever, Saints and Seahawks. But Blake and I were there's a couple of stories here. Peyton and Eli Manning are really, really good in their broadcast. They brought on Marshawn Lynch. They decided to get fined again. Tom Brady, Drew Brees. I thought Brady was so good, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's a cool way to experience the game. Love to know from you on the text line. If you watched the game and which broadcast you watched. Blake and I both watched Peyton and Eli.
There's only one broadcast now.
Yeah. Although I love Louis Riddick.
Yeah.
The Peyton and Eli deal. And Brady was so good to see those three guys mess with each other and have fun watching the game. And they went in and out. They would BS and then they would nerd out. And so it's a fun kind of tempo and rhythm, and it's they interrupt each other, they talk over each other. It's not the buttoned up,
rehearsed
broadcast that you get.
No,
so it was a lot of fun. Marshawn Lynch was he had, according to Marshawn, the running back for our listeners, he played with the Seahawks, with the Raiders.
But basically the Seahawks, okay. That's all that matters.
For the Seahawks, He's out of Cal Berkeley. And was there crossover with he and Aaron Rodgers? I would think there was.
I'd have to go back and look.
Jeff Tedford had some teams in the early 2000s there. But anyway, Marshawn Lynch was a great running back in the NFL. And I didn't know this. He took a shot and a half of Hennessy before every game, but he had taken 3 shots of Hennessy, according to Marshawn, before jumping on with Peyton and Eli last night. So great advertising for Hennessy last night. And other than Marshawn dropping the F-bomb, I thought it went pretty well. And he dropped the S-bomb.
Yeah.
I thought it went pretty well.
Well, yeah, and Drew Brees in the fourth quarter used the P word for upset that is like not technically a bad word, but is not allowed on radio or TV.
That's right.
So that'll probably get them too. But
they're going to pay more in fines than they're paying Peyton and Eli per game.
To me, the best part of the broadcast is Peyton having to come back from every commercial and apologize for the last 15 minutes.
It's so good, though.
It's you can tell he's upset, and Eli just doesn't even care. Like, Peyton has to be like the dad of the group, and like, oh man, it's classic.
Well, and they're so good. Peyton leads it. Eli's so laid back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peyton carries the burden for everything. And his, Blake, we talked about this, his carefully crafted image that has been carefully crafted since he set foot on the campus of the University of Tennessee is obviously really, really good. It will be interesting to see where he goes with Omaha Productions, because he wants to do a little bit of Barstool.
Yeah.
I just mean a little bit, okay? To keep it kind of fun and mix it up. But how much can he do that and still become like an NFL owner one day, right? Lots going on. And Mike Leach has cut off the Clarion Ledger. We'll jump into that, too. Big board coming up next. Welcome in. It's Tuesday, World Series. Braves, Astros. You're listening to 105.9 The Zone.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is powered by Breezy Oaks Ranch. For Mississippi-raised premium Wagyu beef and heritage pork shipped straight to your door, visit breezyoaksranch.com.
What's on the big board?
Man, Mike Leach cutting off the Clarion Ledger. Devastating. I don't know when the last time I read ClarionLedger.com. It's been over 365 days, but I'd have to, whatever double 365 is, which is well over 700, it could be there too. I'm not sure. I'd have to think. Blake and I were trying to remember the last time. Man, I don't have a subscription. Is it still a firewall or whatever you call it, Blake?
Yes, I think
subscription wall.
Online,
what's it called?
They block you. Yeah, paywall. Is the word you're looking for.
Paywall. Yeah. I know. We requested a free subscription,
media membership.
Yeah, and couldn't get it a couple of years ago.
Shocker.
I was obviously devastated. But anyway,
I grew up and it was Sunday cartoons and the sports section because there wasn't like the constant barrage of sports.
Yeah,
pre-Twitter, so that was like the only thing I used it for.
You just said constant barrage of sports, and it's early.
Yeah.
Where are you setting the table for something?
Dude, pad levels low.
Special today?
It's
or
national
is this
championship time.
Okay.
World Series, baby.
All right.
My second team. My NL team.
You actually were the play-by-play announcer for the Braves.
I have a real tie to the Atlanta organization.
For a year. I mean, that's pretty.
I have paychecks that say the National Baseball League, Atlanta Braves National League organization.
Yeah, I mean, so
it's pretty cool.
You're kind of a part of this.
I don't want to say I laid the table, set the foundation.
Right.
Yeah. I am, I'm not in the mansion, but I put the concrete down. You see what I'm saying?
But you're staying in the real cool villa over the garage.
That's right.
And you're still invited to the party.
Look, I broke my back to get Ronald Acuna a month into double.
Did Austin Riley come through when you were there?
Yeah.
So your claim to fame is 1 year as the Braves play-by-play announcer, and when Ronald Acuna and Austin Riley,
Max Fried, who's pitching.
What were they there for 3 weeks?
Fried was there the whole season. He was our opening day starter and then pitched there the whole season. Ronald Acuna got there about a month into the season and left about 60 days later.
That's incredible.
He was the fastest.
Share with people how remarkable
I've never seen anyone hit a baseball like I've seen Ronald Acuna, like live in person. And I watched Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire play a 3-game series, and they were amazing. And they were like even a little bit post-prime maybe at that point. But Ronald Acuna was
post-Apex?
Yeah, right. Ronald Acuna was 19 years old, and he hit a baseball farther than I've ever seen a baseball hit in my entire life. If you've ever been to the Braves
baseball,
and how
old was he at that time?
19. That's what I'm saying. He was 19.
He was 2 years from drinking legally.
He was the fastest player through the minor league system since Andrew Jones in 98 or 99, whatever it was.
I remember Andrew because Andrew was right after Chipper. I mean, they went through just this ridiculous time.
Andrew made it up at 19. Ronald didn't because they wanted to prolong his team control, right?
Okay.
Contractual stuff. He could have played. 100% could have gone up there and played.
Gotcha.
He hit a ball. If you've ever been to the park in Pearl, he hit a home run about 30 feet over the center field batter's eye.
Wow.
StatCast said it was 455. It was every bit of 470.
Okay.
He absolutely... It hit the bat, and I thought someone had fired a shotgun right below the press box.
Do you think that you can find that call that you made of Ronald Acuna's 470-foot shot?
I shared a bunch on Twitter and Facebook, so I can find some. Yeah, absolutely. You want me to pull up an Acuna call in the next break? We can drop it?
I'm not that good. Let's just at some point this week. I mean, we got the World Series going on. No, Braves aren't going to be eliminated. I mean, somebody's got to win 4 games.
Correct.
So we got some time here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm hoping the Braves win, obviously. But
absolutely.
Nothing against Roy Oswalt, who joined us in studio.
Friend of the show.
He's friend of the show, Astros Hall of Famer, one of the owners at 44 Prime and Taste in Starkville. Good dude. I mean, he had some great stories. From JUCO to the show, and his podcast got absolutely. I mean, it melt your face. It was thousands and thousands and thousands. Just his one-hit interview.
His recruiting stories were amazing. Just not to get suicide tracked, but it's pretty interesting that the two teams that are in the World Series, we've had two Hall of Fame legends from their squads on the show.
Yeah.
Well, three, technically. Murphy and Chipper on one side and Roy on the other side.
Oh, that's right.
That's pretty
you realize
unique.
how tied in we are to this World Series?
That's what I'm saying. We're a baseball show.
Well, I sent a couple of texts yesterday. Don't be surprised if we get somebody as big as Dale Murphy before the end of the week.
No way.
Yeah.
Who's as big as Dale
Just
Murphy?
be careful is all I'm saying.
Ooh, that's tough.
It's good to know the guys in Miami and Atlanta that have all the numbers.
There you
Live
go.
in the BankPlus Studio, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. The show is brought to you by Superior Foundation. For all your foundation repairs, Superior Foundation, locally owned. Todd Sandridge, Trey Pace. Obviously, they own Crosstown Builders. They built the new Rick's Pro Truck in Gluckstadt and the super cool, state-of-the-art MRA football press box, among many other things. My really cool boathouse. But Superior Foundation for all your foundation repairs and, foundation issues are miserable. Superior.ms. Show is also brought to you by Cypress Depot. Visit CypressDepot.com. CypressDepot.com. Located in Ridgeland. Man, they've done cool work. It just didn't dawn on me when I met with them. I knew how much residential work they've done with all their beams and hardwoods and so on. Cypress. But their commercial work is incredible. I mean, they started listing the projects, and that was pretty cool. CypressDepot.com and Superior Foundation. Excited to have both of them on the show. Great partners. And good morning. Welcome in. So, Blake, we're giving away a $25 gift certificate to Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue, where you can go this morning and get a honey butter chicken biscuit, Main Street in Madison. And we're giving away a hat from Major League Bowhunter, which is owned by Matt Duff and Chipper Jones.
Yes, sir.
All right, and Matt Duff played baseball at Ole Miss. He's from Crawdad or Alligator, Mississippi. Which one did we say?
What a great name.
Right out, it's a suburb of Clarksdale. I can't. Anyway, and he played baseball at Ole Miss, and he teamed up with Chipper years ago, and you can see them on all their TV shows. So it's pretty cool, and that's awesome. So we'll give that away, and we're excited about that.
Alligator,
Mississippi. All right. He keeps inviting us. I've got to drive up there.
You need to go.
I mean,
hunting.
I love going to Clarksdale and Cleveland and Greenville and Greenwood and all our Delta towns, but evidently I've got to go up there and have a beverage and smoke a cigar with Matt Duff. He says Chipper comes through in like December, I think it is, before they go back out maybe to Kansas or Kansas.
Yes, sir.
And New Mexico and all that. Although it looked like Duff spent a ton of time in New Mexico.
I think it's good hunting out there.
All right, do I have a call?
Yeah, Rebel Elijah wants to talk World Series.
Who?
Rebel Elijah.
Okay. Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line. Rebel, good morning.
Good morning. I just want to talk about the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros being in the World Series.
Go for it, buddy.
It's amazing how everyone, the Dodgers fans and every MLB team, thought the Braves weren't going to make it without Acuna, and the Braves didn't listen. They won the NLDS, the NLCS, and the wild card game without Acuna.
Isn't that so cool?
It is.
Are you an Austin Riley fan?
Yes, sir, I am.
Man, is that guy a baller or what?
Hey, he's awesome.
That's all. Are you playing some baseball?
Yes, sir, I do.
Good. Well, work hard and keep up the good work, and I have a feeling you'll have a swing like Austin Riley.
Yes, sir.
All right, be good, buddy. See you, pal. That was Rebel Elijah.
Yes, sir.
Big Atlanta Braves fan. And how about that? He's like, look, we lost Ronald Acuna, one of the best players on the planet, and we're still in the World Series. And he loves him some Austin Riley, who Blake Scott actually called some of his games when he was the play-by-play voice for the Braves. Blake, how long was Austin Riley with them? A month or two?
A little bit longer than that.
Okay.
But it wasn't long. He got up there quick. He's only like 24, something like that. He's in his third year. I mean, it's
Incredible.
crazy. Yeah.
Did he make the jump straight from AA to the majors,
No,
or did he make a quick stop at AAA?
A little bit.
Got it. The Out of Bounds Show is powered by MississippiSportsMedicine.com. SEC Insider hit next. The Out of Bounds Show podcast is presented by Edwin Watts Golf Shop on County Line Road. Your golf game starts with Edwin Watts Golf Shop.
Let's do it.
This is the SEC Insider Hit. And it's presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
Oh, good morning. It's game day. Woo! Braves and Astros. Game 1 tonight. Houston, Texas. Here we go. Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros. Dale Murphy against Roy Oswalt. All in on the World Series. Pretty cool that we had Dale Murphy on the show yesterday. We had Roy Oswalt in studio, Astros Hall of Fame from Ware, Mississippi. JUCO to the show. Holmes Community College. JUCO to the show. You're good enough, you can find your way. There's no doubt about that. Our JUCO baseball is unbelievable. JUCO to the show. Roy Oswalt, Houston Astros Hall of Fame. Braves Astros tonight. And we're giving away a Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue $25 gift certificate. You know they serve breakfast in Madison and Brandon, right? Honey butter chicken biscuit. They have the hash brown bowl. They had the chicken and waffles. We did, National Chicken and Waffle Day maybe last week or something. But we'll give away a $25 gift certificate to Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue and a Major League Bow Hunter hat. And that production company, it's a hunting show, among other things. But that production company is owned by Chipper Jones and Matt Duff. Matt Duff's from Alligator, Mississippi, suburb of Clarksdale. He played baseball at Ole Miss. So that's a pretty good deal. That's about $50+ gift. It's all about the text line on the agup.com, Mississippi Ag. John Deere tractor text line 601-885-3776. Best text between now and 8 o'clock. So, well, it started a couple of segments ago, but we'll cap it at 8, and then we'll have a winner. So that'll be fun. Your SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. The official health care provider of the Out of Bounds Show, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. And Blake Mania called, so he was the M-Braves play-by-play voice for a year. 1 year, right?
2017.
2017. And Ronald Acuna, Soroka?
Yeah, Mike Soroka, yeah.
Austin Riley.
Max Fried.
Max Fried.
Pitching sometime this. I think he's starting tonight, actually.
Okay. All those guys either were on the team or went through during that kind of late spring, summer, early fall that you called. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. All right. And did you have any idea? It's hard to know, but did you have...
Yes on Ronald. I thought Austin had a chance. Yes on Soroka. Fried was the only one. He struggled that season, but he had some injury in his wrist. Bounced right back.
Okay.
That was the only one I wasn't sure on.
Okay.
But you could tell. I mean, Ronald Acuna Jr. stepped on the field. You said, that's an MLB baseball player.
Yeah, I
no
figured
doubt
on that. Okay.
Yeah, Austin was pretty much right there, too.
Sure.
Soroka's stuff was the same way. I remember calling a game. He struck out
Did it remind you of when I threw out the first pitch at the M-Braves ballpark?
Exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he
His
started...
stuff was kind of like that?
Yeah, he started one game where he struck out like 6 of the first 7 guys he faced. It's insane. Yeah.
God.
I mean, you saw that kid throw a baseball and you just said, oh, all right, so this is what he was supposed to do.
Wow. And you rode on the bus with these guys.
Yeah, a few times.
So it wasn't a big deal just to be around them.
I mean, yes and no. It's one of those things where in the moment it's probably less obvious of what you're like. Looking back on it, you go, wow, that was a loaded team. That was amazing. But like
Ronald Acuna.
Yeah.
Soroka.
Yep.
Austin Riley.
Yep. Max Fried.
And Max Fried.
Those would be the biggest names.
Oh, those are huge names.
Yeah. They're pretty big names.
And who was the manager?
Oh my gosh. I'm going blank.
It wasn't Maloney.
No, it was before Maloney.
Yeah.
I'm going blank. It's been so long.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't who I
Is it Chris Maloney is famous for getting hurt and Will Clark taking his position? Is this correct? In 1983?
That is correct.
And never giving it up again?
That is correct.
As the Mississippi State first baseman before going on and becoming an All-American and a phenomenal Major League Baseball player?
That is accurate.
Okay. And playing on the U.S. Olympic team. And was it Clark that won the Golden Spikes Award?
It was.
Okay. All right. There was some filthy talent at that time at the collegiate level because McGuire was in Clark and Palmero's class too, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
Luis Salazar. I knew I could. It was right after Philip Wellman had left.
Okay.
The infamous
the
meltdown.
dude that did the whole thing?
Yeah, that was Philip
That guy's
Wellman.
a legend.
Yeah. He still is.
In every bar in the South.
He's still in the Padres minor league organization.
He should never have to. Philip Wellman should never have to buy a blue plate or a cold Coors Light.
That's 100%
in the
accurate.
Sun Belt. Is that fair?
100%
Okay.
accurate.
Or a ticket to a Braves game. I don't know if he's still in baseball, but he should. I'm talking about the Atlanta Braves, but in Braves too.
Yeah.
He's the one that did all the. How would you describe what he did that night?
He's just a meltdown.
Yeah.
He threw the rosin bag as a grenade. He stole multiple bases. He stole third and second base and took them to the outfield.
Did it take like 15 minutes?
Oh, at least 15 to 20 minutes. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in the Padres organization right now.
That really?
Yeah, works in the minor league for the Padres. I don't know what he does.
R.I.P. Tony Gwynn.
That's
one
right.
of my favorite players growing up, along with Gary Templeton. So don't go there with me. I was locked in. Their uniforms were terrible, but golly, those two could play. They had a couple other good players.
They got a good team now. They just didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Go Braves.
Go Braves.
That's right.
All right, so Braves Astros. Let me get into some football here in
Let's
a second. We've got some kind of crappy Mike Leach audio, but the story is really good. So we'll get into that. We've got Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Tom Brady on the broadcast last night, which was nothing short of amazing. And Peyton taking shots at Tom Brady needing to go to bed was phenomenal. Because, we've all built up this thing that Brady, magically and majestically, I guess, gets 10 hours of sleep a night, probably in some kind of chamber that he ordered from East or West Germany. But they were great on the Monday Night Football broadcast. ESPN Disney will be fined again because Marshawn Lynch dropped a couple of cuss words. And although he did share with us that he took a shot and a half of Hennessy before every game, which is an interesting approach. And he also let us know that he had 3 shots of Hennessy before joining Peyton Manning and Eli Manning last night.
Incredible.
Yes. Please bring him on every week. I don't understand why they don't have a beep button or delay. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. Obviously, Disney owns ESPN. But anyway, this whole Peyton and Eli Manning broadcast is phenomenal. And as Blake knows, it's the only reason why I watched that game last night. Because I don't want to disappoint y'all because I love you and I know the Saints were playing. But I'd have checked out on that thing early and gone over to Netflix or Amazon Prime. Instead, I stayed with it because of Marshawn and Brady and others. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. SEC Insider Hit this morning. Brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds show. We had a great interview with Dale Murphy yesterday after the show. I think we're going to drop that a little bit later, Blake. But Dale Murphy is a kind and gracious person. He's been on several times. It was a lot of fun to talk Atlanta Braves baseball with number 3. When I was a kid, I thought Dale Murphy walked on water. And I can still remember going to Fulton County Stadium as a kid in my baseball uniform with my sweatbands on and my Atlanta Braves hat. And I thought, I thought that was it.
Yeah, he was the guy you pretended to be in the backyard, right?
Yes.
Like, that's the way it was. Jeter, Chipper, it was Dale back then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Southern
I
kids,
loved Ricky Henderson, but I didn't get as much of Ricky Henderson because I had TBS.
Also, not as much fun to pretend to steal a base as it is to pretend to hit a home run.
Yeah. And although Ricky was my guy, Dale Murphy was the dude.
Yeah.
Number 3.
No doubt.
2-time NL MVP, Blake.
Yeah. That's impressive.
I mean, the guy for about a 5-year stretch, he was unbelievable.
And he had to play on some not great teams.
I know.
It was very Barry Sanders-esque to bring it to football, right? Like great player on a team that just could never figure out what was going on. Could never put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Dale, and what an athlete. Blake.
Oh, absolutely.
He told us his story the first time we had him on a couple of years ago. I don't think people realize what an athlete he was in high school and the different sports and the different positions that he played. And there's no telling with the training today, Blake, what he would be. Like, he put him as a dual threat QB at 6'5".
Yeah.
And the way he was built.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, my gosh. So
there's no doubt about that.
Or just training and strength and conditioning today and what he would have been able to do just as a power hitter.
It's why somebody like Brady can play till 55, it seems like. You know what I mean? It's a different way of taking care of yourself and maintaining that body.
And he was ripped, but he would have been even more ripped, faster, more powerful, more electric, more explosive as a modern-day athlete today.
No doubt.
I mean, Will Clark walked by and looked at a weight and laughed at it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
You know, Dale was actually working out in the late 70s and early 80s, which was a very unsophisticated, approach, but it was what it was.
Free weights in someone's garage.
Yeah. People throwing out their back. I mean, just a terrible
That's funny.
mess. Speaking of Will Clark, we're excited to have Muddy Water Camo on the show. Muddy Water Camo. Will Clark is one of the owners. And as you get ready for even more hunting season, don't forget about a company that's owned and has Mississippi and Louisiana roots, and that's muddywateroutdoors.com. muddywateroutdoors.com. Muddy Water Camo. You can find them on Facebook, muddywateroutdoors.com. Okay, so I've got a couple things to get into with Mike Leach. Leach was at Texas Tech for years, and he went to 10 straight bowl games, and he won at a really high level considering Lubbock is in West Texas. And since then, all they do is fire coaches. So that should tell you, 1, Mike Leach is a hell of a football coach. 2, it's extremely difficult to win in Lubbock, Texas, because guys like Tommy Tuberville, who's a good football coach, went out there and couldn't really get it going and got out of there as soon as he could. I mean, he took the job at Cincinnati. I want you to think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Tommy Tuberville was at a Power 5 job in the Big 12. They did not fire him. He was the Texas Tech Red Raiders head coach. And he looked around and said, I'm out. I'll take the Cincinnati job. Long before Cincinnati is the cute darling of game day now the last 2 years. Long before. Nobody cared about the Cincinnati Bearcats in football. The only thing Cincinnati was known for was their basketball teams.
And their chili.
Okay, fine. And so Tommy Tuberville left a Power 5 gig to take a G5 gig. How many times has that happened in the history of modern-day college football?
There's only 2 guys I can think of, Tuberville and Dana Holgerson.
Yeah.
Leaving West Virginia to go to Houston.
He was in West Virginia. He said, I'm out of here.
The only 2 guys I can think of.
But he went to Houston that's got a little more
pop. Yeah.
Pop. Now, Cincinnati's the darling this year, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, they just almost lost to a 1-5 Navy.
But, yeah, you don't do that. You don't go backwards.
You don't do that.
It just doesn't happen. Yeah.
So, for our listeners, Texas Tech fired Matt Wells yesterday, who, by the way, was considered a good coach at Utah State. Had really good numbers. Yeah. Really, 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 really good numbers. And he was 5-3.
13-17 in 2.5 seasons.
But 13-17 in 2. I mean, he had a really good track record coming out of Utah State.
Yep.
And took the Texas Tech job. So all they've done post Mike Leach is, and we have a couple of Red Raiders listeners, and all they do is text us and say, we want Mike back. We want Mike Leach back. So I know there's a lot of State fans that are down on Mike Leach, which makes no sense to me. He's got the 3 best wins in the state of Mississippi in the last year and a half or year and a half plus. I mean, he's won at LSU, NC State at home. He's won at A&M. But because his rival school has a generational transcendent QB, people, I guess, have piled on him a little bit. He's obviously got a big, big game this weekend against Kentucky, and they'll either be 4-4 or they'll be 5-3. If they go 5-3, they could find some juice on the way out the door for the season. As all of you know, we have 2 monster games for our schools. Mississippi State hosting Kentucky, night game, SEC Network is huge. Ole Miss going on the road to a great place to play. Great venue, great town, unbelievable fan base, War Eagle Nation in Auburn. And that one is on ESPN, and that one could be wild too. And look, Ole Miss is predicted by one site to go to the Fiesta Bowl, New Year's Six bowl game. Neither team has ever been to the Fiesta Bowl. They've checked the sugar and the orange and some other cool stuff, but the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe, Arizona, great place, right? Phoenix Metro, check out Scottsdale. Maybe hit a little Flagstaff and Sedona. I've been to both those towns. They're nothing short of amazing. And you could have a large time over 4 or 5 days. And you may be matched up with somebody pretty fun. The bowl matchups, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're super terrible. But predicted to go to the Fiesta Bowl is a lot of fun. And it sure looks like Matt Corral is going to be the number 1 pick, or the number 1 quarterback in the NFL draft. He and Pickett at Pitt could go 1 and 2. Just keep an eye on, obviously Corral. We're going to watch every play of his rest of his career at Ole Miss. And the Pitt Panthers just beat Clemson, and they've got a heck of a QB too, Blake.
That's right, 1-loss Pitt Panthers. And you'll get to see Malik Willis November,
That's next week.
2nd or something like that?
So Ole Miss will host Hugh. This is what's nuts. A week and a half from. So we got this big game with Ole Miss and Auburn. Ole Miss is in the top 10. Auburn's ranked what, Blake? 12th?
Something like that, yeah.
No, 18th. So Ole Miss is in the top 10. Auburn's ranked 18th. And so this game is the biggest game that Ole Miss has played since I guess you could say the Sugar Bowl, but I'm thinking regular season 2015.
I guess that season, yeah.
Yeah, when they beat Bama and beat Auburn. And
it's the last time you were competing for this level of bowl game.
So you think about that. 100,000 people going nuts. Auburn's 5-2. Ole Miss is 6-1. Ole Miss is 3-1 in the SEC. Auburn is 2-1. Everything's on the line.
Yeah.
Matt Corral on the road again. This will be his toughest road game. What's his toughest road game to date? Tennessee?
I would think so.
At Tennessee?
Yeah.
No, they played at Bama.
Well, yeah, but
so at Bama,
you didn't win it,
right?
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
Brian
that was a hostile environment at Tennessee, though.
It was.
There was a lot of electric
golf balls.
Yeah.
It's a golf ball game.
That's a split.
Brought to you by Live Oaks Golf Club.
I guess because you could win the Tennessee game, that's why I would lean that way. But I understand playing at Alabama is just difficult.
All right. So we've got all that. So the 2 big games are night games with our teams in it because Auburn's ranked 18th and Kentucky's ranked 12th.
That's incredible.
And they're 6-1 and 4-1 in the Southeastern Conference. So that's where we are right now. Is Mark Stoops going to move from Kentucky? I don't know. We'll see.
Now there's more jobs open. They keep opening up every week, it seems like.
He's not going to go to Texas Tech, but the Texas Tech job is open again, and all they do is fire coaches post Mike Leach. Now, let's talk about the Clarion Ledger. The Mike Leach, who's this guy, the new guy?
I believe it's Koska is his name.
They've got a new beat writer for Mississippi State, and it's almost like Mike's having fun with this. Don't you think?
I think he enjoys it. Yes.
Yeah. There's a little bit of banter here, and he's messing with him, but I think he's somewhat upset with him.
Both is true.
As upset as Mike's going to get over this thing, this is going to be terrible audio, but then we're going to tell you the story behind it. But basically, Mike Leach is cutting off the Clarion Ledger beat writer every time he tries to ask a question. And it's pretty good. Here we go.
Hey, Mike, how much of a benefit is it to get some of the rotation for these young guys?
You're still on probation. Okay, next question.
Okay, so what'd you say his name was? Soroka?
Andy
No, that's the Braves guy.
Andy Koska, I believe is who he's talking
It reminds me of, okay. All right, so Andy Koska, that he was trying to ask a question to Mike Leach, and Mike still has him on probation. I think it's over the Will Rogers injury.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, I apologize. A couple weeks ago. Because there's another clip that's basically the same thing where post-Alabama game, he tries to ask a question, and Leach cuts him off the same way.
Oh.
He says, no, you're on. You're not gonna ask a question. Next question.
Oh, so this must have been...
I think it started with
it must have been something before then.
Yeah.
Because Will didn't get injured until the Bama game.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have been able to write an article before the press conference happened post-game.
The Monday press conference after the game, the Monday teleconference press conference that they do is of Alabama.
Oh, then that could have been the case.
Yeah, but that's the first instance.
He could have dropped, if it was Monday, you're saying it wasn't after the game on Saturday.
Yeah, sorry, I meant after the game but it's these Monday teleconference, post-conference things that
then
they do.
Is based around the Will Rogers injury.
Yeah, I believe the issue Mike Leach has is that this reporter reached out to players and family behind the school's back, behind Mike Leach's back.
All right. So he's on probation, and we'll just see when he gets off of probation.
Probably never, if I had to guess, with Mike Leach.
Oh, I think he will.
It is pretty funny. First off, you don't have to I get why you want to ask a question because you might be writing a specific article with your intention.
Sure.
But for the most part, you can get almost any information out of those things by just sitting there listening. You're not getting record-breaking
those
stuff.
things are not as powerful as they once were.
Yeah, because we get content from everywhere constantly. Yeah,
sure. So I'd like to hear from our listeners. What do you think about Mike Leach putting the Clarion Ledger, what's his name again,
Andy Koska,
on probation? And then also your thoughts on Peyton and Eli Manning and their broadcast last night, and bringing on Marshawn Lynch, who dropped an F-bomb, and Tom Brady, who was so good.
Hilarious.
And Peyton kept asking him if he needed to put on his pajamas during the break.
Is Brady going to be the next voice? Like, is he going to be a character after NFL? Because
I think Brady's going to follow Peyton Manning's suit or path, and he probably already has one, but create the TB12. It'll be a production company too, and he's going to. Peyton is in a place where he gets to pick and choose, and he gets to dictate to the networks.
No doubt.
And he gets to pick his projects. There's very few people in the world are in this position, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think, Tom, this is where this thing's going to go.
Because
it's not going to be former players wearing a blazer in a booth with a tie and a start shirt.
It's going to be more fun than that.
Yeah. I mean, it's Peyton and Eli Manning wearing pullovers or other funny stuff or jerseys or whatnot. And I think Tom will do the same in some form or fashion.
Yeah. Tom Brady going to Tampa is the biggest legacy changer in sports, in my opinion. Yeah.
And his likability factor
that's what I'm saying.
Is now through the roof.
He's so sellable
He
right
was
now.
with the evil empire.
Yep.
Now, like you said, he's
somehow
sellable.
Performing better at 44.
I don't know Eli kept saying that during the broadcast. How are you still playing? The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds Show. We're also powered by Fondren Fitness. Check it out today. Unbelievable fitness facility in Fondren. Fondren Fitness. Hour number 2 coming up. Mike Detillier at 8:30.